Bonjour everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Right then, right? Let's not panic, okay? We'll try not to panic. I see a lot of people panicking on Twitter, but I don't want to panic. I've said panic about a million times already, but it is because Bruno Guimaraes, and there's two interviews to get through in this video, alright, that Bruno has done over the last couple of days. We're going to focus on the Real Madrid story first, and then more so what he said about Newcastle and his current life in the tune. So Bruno has revealed that he was asked by Real Madrid to join them just last summer. And I'm talking a month or two ago. Alright, we're October now. In the summer, when Los Blancos sold Casemiro, Brazilian teammate of Bruno Guimaraes, to Premier League Manchester United, they approached Bruno to join them at the Bernabeu. Now that's massive. Now I did a video during the summer, as I did many transfer rumour videos, as I'm sure you're aware of, on Bruno being linked with the move to Real Madrid and $100 million price tag being on his head. Now I'm wearing Brazil's shirt right now because we're talking about Brazil's finest, Bruno. But anyways, back to the point. I made a video, 100 million transfer link, Bruno to Real Madrid, and then that kind of fizzled out. We didn't hear much more of it, but Bruno has now revealed that he did indeed hold talks and have conversations with Real Madrid when they've asked him to join the club, but Bruno has said no. Bruno turned them down. Bruno! He turned them down. He wants to stay at Newcastle. He believes in the project and everything. But this is massive that he has came out and told with this. Now, I completely disagree with this, of how clubs are allowed to just approach players now and talk to them. Now, you see it now where it's like, oh, personal terms are agreed with the player. They just need to agree the fee with the club. Don't understand that. You used to get done back in the day. You used to get bollocked. You used to get fined. You used to get sanctioned for talking to a player without talking to his parent club first. I mean, it's a bit mad, isn't it? Look, and just approach a player before even speaking to the club, persuade him, turn his head. I mean, Real Madrid could have offered him shit load of money, Champions League football, and then they've had to go to the club afterwards once Bruno's had his head's turned. Thankfully, that hasn't happened. Thankfully, that isn't the case. But at the 100 million price tag, by the way, that's got to be a minimum. That has got to be a minimum for Bruno's services. Now, we spent just under £40 million on Bruno Guimaraes when we signed him last January, and now he's kicked on massively. You know, he's double the player that now, so he's at least double the price tag. He's shown he can do it in the Premier League on a consistent basis. He's playing for Brazil every time he gets a chance. He'll be going to the World Cup in Qatar with Brazil and playing there. So he's worth at least a 100 million now, at least that. But it's never mind about that. The good thing is now Newcastle aren't in a selling position. We don't necessarily need that money. Now, yes, it would help us hugely with FFP, but we don't need to sell Bruno. We don't need to sell our star assets anymore, thankfully, thank God, because now, unlike previous regimes, if Mike Ashley was here, Bruno would have gone in the summer. Even if Bruno had a turn to Ashley or Lambias or Charlie or whoever and said, look, Real Madrid are in first, he would have went, well, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you still here? What, Bruno, why are you in my office in Newcastle having this conversation? I'm booking a flight now, you couldn't, because he would have sent him packing straight away. If Mike Ashley had paid 40 and Real Madrid had offered 70, 80, he would have been like, double the money, taking the money, see you later. Bye-bye, Bruno. Thanks for the few months, but you're off. Thankfully now, obviously the likes of Staveley, Eddie Howe, Ashraf will all want to be keeping our best players at the club. Best chance of progression. Obvious. So Bruno has said in this interview that he was approached by Real Madrid in the summer. He did turn them down. He said it was a big honour, a big privilege, which, let's be honest, it is. Real Madrid are the most successful club in history, Champions League wise anyway. The amount they've won is ridiculous. In that competition, their pedigree is mental. They're the Liga form, everything. Do you know what I mean? They're a huge club. They're a huge brand of world football. Them and Manchester United are the biggest in the world, aren't they? You know what I mean? I prefer Barcelona. Obviously, Manchester United don't care, only like Newcastle in England. But you've got to recognise the global appeal. You've got to recognise that fan base, that culture, that tradition, the success. It's there. You know what I mean? Real Madrid is one of, if not the biggest in world football. So no wonder he would say it's a privilege and whatnot, but he says he turned them down because he's settled in Newcastle and he wants to focus on what he believes is the best project in world football. Now that is unbelievable to hear that, because it is, and it's just still mental when I think about that. It's still completely pinch yourself moment. It's still, when am I going to wake up when people are saying about Newcastle being the most exciting project in world football? But it's true. With the money we've got, the back end, the way we're going, the people that we're putting in place, like Ashraf, like Eels, obviously Eddie Howe doing a magnificent job. The players that we're recruiting, they've all been a resounding success. clear and it is obvious that we are a huge appeal now, and that is what lured Bruno from, you know, playing at a top team in France, playing European football, playing as a Brazilian international, to a relegation battle. Unbelievably impressive at the time, and that's obviously being sold, like he's saying there, biggest project in world football. We've told players that. We are telling players that consistently. That's how we're attracting Bruno, Botman, Trippier. That's how Isaac. That's how we're getting these players through the door at St James's Park, and it's brilliant to see. It's amazing. It's absolutely unbelievable. I mentioned the fact that Bruno joined us in a relegation battle, and he said in the weekend that he never ever doubted us. He never doubted that we would get out of that fight. He never doubted that we would get where we are now, 6th in the league, and continue to progress. He said he's always believed in it. He's always had faith, and he is obviously a huge part of playing that. The success he's had. Nobody's scored more goals at Newcastle since he's came in. Bruno has been an amazing talent. Unbelievable player on and off the pitch. Character-wise, you've got to love him. I loved it when he went off the other day, substituted, and he walked around. He was pointing at everyone, clapping everyone. The relationship he's got with the fan base is phenomenal, and you can tell that in the way he reacts to people on and off the pitch and the pride he has for Newcastle, and that is why he is staying. That's why he said he believes in the project, and I think he's settled now. Look, he's been here 6, 7, 8 months now. Well, longer than that. Actually, became in January. You know, you're closing on 9, 10 months for Bruno at Newcastle, and he clearly loves the place. He's settled now. He's moved here with his family. They're expecting another kid any day now. His missus is pregnant on Tyneside, waiting for another kid. They're calling him Mateo, by the way, which is obviously, you know, the Brazilian version of Matty, so me. So put them all together, put all the pieces together, the hair, the name. He loves it. He's watching this video now. Shout out Bruno. But it's class to see that he's settled here, and he loves it here, and he wants to stay here, is the most important thing. And you wouldn't want to leave now, would you, unless obviously you didn't like the place. He's doing well to put it with the weather that's coming. I think the weather's we've had a good summer. But you know what I mean? He's to adapt from Brazilian culture to this. But he's loving it. He's loving life. And like I say, he's settling here with his kid, with his new kid, with his wife obviously loves it. She said she's not a fan of the bleached hair. Didn't listen to Bruno. But Bruno said he's keeping that anyway, because he says every time he dyes it, he scores. It's funny that, because so do I. Off the pitch. But you know what I'm saying? He likes it. He loves it. He wants to be here. He wants to stay here. And you would do, like I've said, you know, if you've bought a house, yeah, you've got your life, yeah, you've got your nice cars, yeah, you've got your routine, your family's growing up. You don't want to unsettle things too much. I'm sure Bruno Guimaraes will be at Newcastle for at least another 2, 3, 4 years, hopefully even longer. Hopefully he stays here forever. Hopefully he's our David Silva that Man City had. You know, he was there for what, 10 years, whatever it was. Hopefully he's there for that long, because he is that good. And it's not just the skill and the technical ability of Bruno, it's like I said, what he brings off the pitch. His character, he totally gets the club, the pride, the passion, the fans, everything. He loves it, he gets it, and he's so welcome here, and he's adapted so well. And he said that his kid's going to be a Geordie. He said he never thought he'd say that, but he says Mateo will be a Geordie, so that's amazing. So, you know, hopefully his kid grows up here, goes to the schools here in Newcastle, and have a happy ever long life in Newcastle, on and off the pitch. But, like I said, I think he will stay for a couple of years at least. But you can imagine Real Madrid aren't the type of club to accept no. They will go back in for him. They will want him again. He will be on their list for quite some time. And once Newcastle hopefully eventually play European football, Bruno will be a star in that, I'm sure. Madrid will be watching. The scouts will be watching. They will come back in for him at some point, no doubt about it. They will. Maybe a year down the line. They're not going to come in for him in January. If he says he wants to settle, his kid's just about to be born, maybe next summer, if not definitely the year after that, they will come back in for him. And as he progresses, Newcastle progresses, the price goes up, that doesn't bother Real Madrid. They seem to have an endless pot of money as well. So we'll have to fend off Real Madrid, but it's not just Real Madrid, we'll have to fend off interest from everyone. It's not just Bruno. Isaac, if he does well, he's young, hot young talent across Europe, eyes on him. Sven Botman, one of the most sought after defenders in Europe, young, eyes will be on him, especially when he starts playing for Netherlands week in, week out. So we're going to get this. We're going to get this a lot. And that's the thing of climbing the ranks. Owners have got to do the best to keep them, but thankfully Bruno says he's enjoying it. Specs are on. I just want to quickly verify what Bruno has said on this, and again what I said before actually on the thing, that Guimaraes has scored 7 goals since he joined Newcastle, more than any Newcastle teammate in that spell. Since his debut in early February, Newcastle have earned 48 points from 26 games, with only Man City, Arsenal, Spurs and Liverpool picking up more in that time. Obviously we know Bruno is a player, he's an all-round midfielder, he's not just a goal scorer, he's a battling, tough tackling midfielder, he recovers the ball well, he's a great dribbler. But again, what he said, I believed in the project from the very beginning. This will be one of the best projects in the world. I feel at home here. Real Madrid is the best team in the world. It is nice. It was just a conversation, but it is nothing. So hopefully it stays at nothing and Bruno stays at Newcastle United. Alright, nice one people. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you press that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and enjoy yourself.